Okay, so I think so. The class has gone for 20 minutes, and I didn't record properly. So sorry for people who are watching this later. I think it's recording now. Yeah, here it is. Now it's recording. Fuck. So I'll do a quick. This is for the people. This for the YouTube channel. I'll just go over a quick. There's a bunch of questions. Some of the questions for debt facility estimate put 400,000 or 400 million in there. For debt drawdown, just put 400 million as well because it links to construction. We'll do that in the next assignment. Still code the difference. More questions were, what does the 17 mean and this 0017 number? That's just 2017 dollars. So you'll inflate that to future. This is like a real dollar value, and then you'll inflate it to the nominal amount in the future in the other tabs. What is K? K is just the initial regulatory capital requirement. Comes into play in the back, the last tab in the model. Some other questions, beginning period, end of period. So your beginning of period should always equal your previous period's end of period. So you see how these are two the same color? That has to link to that. And then when you do these maintenance improvements, you always do it at the end of period. So your end of period, the maintenance you're improving 4.1% from this beginning of period number to that. And then your average is just the average of those two. And then for heat rate, your heat rate, when you improve it, so the higher the heat rate, the worse the efficiency is. So you want a negative. When you improve it, you're reducing the heat rate because heat rate's just waste energy. And then the other ones are the reverse, where your output capacity goes down when it gets worse. Your heat rate, when it gets worse, goes up. And then what are some of the other questions you guys asked? That's it, I guess. Oh yeah, then your output capacity can go beyond your nameplate capacity. It's just a quirk of the model. It's just because we have such good mechanics that just improve it by 4.1%. So it goes above. So that's fine if yours goes above it. And I think that's like a summation of most of the questions. You guys have any other questions? Yeah, so here, I'll go through how to do the extract again. So for this class, so you want to open up a new Excel sheet. And then we're going to label it assumptions. So for the assumptions, you're going to do it this way. And then for the, what's it called, time and technical. And then for every other section, every other tab, every assignment is going to be like time and technical. The assumptions are just unique since they're just hard codes. So for the assumptions, just take the whole sheet and just copy it. The trick is you hit this top corner and you just do Control Copy, and then go to your new, go to the extract and click the left thing, and then just do Special Paste, and then you want to do values and source formatting. So it's Special Paste, the one with the paintbrush and numbers. And so that pastes the numbers, and then it pastes the formatting. So boom, just do that. And then for time and technical, go back to the time and technical tab, and then we're just going to sum everything. So sum, and then we're just going to sum the entire row. And then you're just going to drag that from here all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. And then you just go highlight from E to A. Yeah, I think in the first one I didn't do that, but just do that anyways, just to be consistent, I guess. you forgot, it's not a huge deal, but just make sure you sum everything else. And then just highlight. So then you, for A through E, just do a similar thing you did before. And then right click copy. So if you just click the numbers, it'll highlight the whole column, and then switch to time and technical, and then just click A, and then right click, special paste, the paintbrush with the numbers, value, and source formatting, and paste. And then that's it. And then you save it with that very specific way I outlined, where it's so specific I can't remember the exact instructions. Yeah, so when you sum it, so the question was, how far do you sum it? Sorry. You sum it G8 through BF. So G to BF. So this is the entire row. So this entire row from here to here. And then also I forgot this. In your models, just put your first and last name. Spell your last name right first, and then put your first and last name on all the tabs. You know whose model it is. So just do that in all. Whenever you just put them on in all your tabs, and then do that when you in your extract. Just add your first and last name in there too on every tab, just so I know. So for the assumptions, just paste for assumptions, just paste the entire assumptions. So I'll do it again. So this is how you do the extract for the assumptions. Click this corner thing. It highlights the whole tab. Right click copy, and then just paste the whole one in here. Special paste, values and source formatting, the paintbrush with the numbers. And so you're pasting your entire spreadsheet in there. So you're not summing anything. Then for time and technical, you're summing everything. So you sum the entire row. Sum G all the way to BF. And then just drag it up, and then drag it all the way down until you get everything. And then once you have that, click A, and then you can click Shift to E and just highlight that whole column. Right click, copy, and then just click A when you're in there, or here's time and technical. When you're in the new sheet, just click A. How did it like there? Is it cut off on there? Can you guys see it? And then right click, special paste, paintbrush number, value source formatting, and then just paste the whole thing over.
And you don't want us to keep that sum in
it's up to you guys. If you guys want to keep it there and then make it look pretty, you could do that too, or it's up to you. No, so like I'm just gonna use the extract. So if you want to keep it that way, it doesn't matter to me. And then so you submit the extract, and do you remember how we save it? Save as, or we'll save it as. So the way you save it is last name, how to save model and extract. So for the model, you save it as last name dot first name dot assignment 1 or dot 1, whatever you want. Extract, or no, sorry, I forgot something. Assignment number 1 dot model. And then the extract, last name, first name, assignment 1 dot extract. And when you guys email it, you send it to TA Fin, and this is just the email that you guys get emails from me from. You're going to CC whatever Jace's email is, and you're going to CC my work email. Because Gmail is blocked on my work service, so I can't look at it at work unless you send it to me. And then the subject line is just like assignment 1. And then inside, and then attached are 2 documents, 2 Excels, 2 Excel files, 2 Excel files. One Excel file is the model with your specific coding, your coding and formulas that you put in, you developed. And the second one is the extract that has no formulas and is all pasted values. Yeah. So the question is, what's availability factor? And so when you think about a power plant, it's not by itself. It connects to a grid. And so the availability factor is, I guess it's, so this combination is the availability factor is what percentage of time is the model, or not model, the power plant producing energy or producing output, like the amount. So it's the percent of time. So this is from like the grid's perspective. So the grid views this power plant as what percentage of the time is it available to dispatch electricity. So from the grid's perspective, the only 90%, 90.8%, it's available to dispatch or has availability to send energy to the grid. And then the second component is this, forgot what capacity factor is, but then, dispatch factor is the percentage of time the power grid will actually call energy, electricity from the power plant. So sometimes, especially in like these emerging market grids where the grids are super shitty, and it's so like it's a whole ecosystem. It's the power plant, then you have like the grid, and then the grid there's like distribution that goes from the power to the retail consumers, and there's all this like supply chain. So sometimes the grids are, like in Nigeria specifically, the grid is horrible. It's really bad. So even though the plant has a lot of electricity, it can't get to people because the grid is really run down. So the dispatch factor is the percentage of time the grid will actually, that's what they call when they send electricity from the power plant to the grid, they call it dispatching electricity. And so that's actually what's the percentage of time that they'll actually call electricity. And so you're only getting paid on electricity they call from the grid's perspective. So you could have a really cool plant, and then if the grid can't handle the electricity, which is actually a problem when they build these huge power plants in Africa, maybe you're getting paid a lot less because you're only getting, your dispatch factor is like 60% or something. But in this case, it's 83. And then, so that's what that one means. And so capacity factor is just, it's just availability factor times dispatch factor. So this is actually the percentage of time that you're actually getting paid for energy, getting paid to produce energy. That's your capacity factor. It's in the write-up somewhere. So I just keep skimming it. It was in the PowerPoint. It's somewhere. I don't know where it is, but if you can't find it, you could look at this model and probably think that it's probably 83%. I think if you put 83 there, I would probably mark it as correct. The dispatch factor is in the footnote in the first page. And the capacity factor is just your dispatch factor times your availability factor. So that's the amount of time the plant is getting paid to produce electricity. So availability is just the amount of time the plant is online to produce electricity, and then dispatch is the amount of time the plant, the grid will actually call electricity and pay you for it. So another fun fact, a lot of the discos, the grid in Africa is nationalized, but then they privatize a lot of the generation, but that's still a problem because you'll have all this generation come online, like these power plants, but then you can't get the power to people. The availability factor, I think, is, where did you say it was? So the availability factor for people on the video is in the section 1 PowerPoint. And then the dispatch factor is in the footnotes on page 1. Cool. More questions? And if you guys watch the videos and have feedback on audio or other things to make it easier to use, just let me know, because I just started doing it. That day I did it the first time was the first day I looked at it. Yeah, so the feedback I got was the sound was poor. So this time I'm using a microphone. So hopefully, let me know if you listen to this and the sound isn't good again. I'll try and get a better microphone or something, or better setup so you can hear it clearer. And I'm trying to get, I think there's a way to have like auto closed captioning, so I'm still figuring that out. It's not high on my list, but it's something I'm looking into.
Are we gonna have regular times?
So looking at the schedule going forward, you have the case studies due next week. Is that correct? So the TA sessions won't be for the case studies. It's just only for the Excel. So there may or may not be a TA session this week, and there may just be 2 next week, or we'll figure out the times, because if people want it, it depends how diligent you are. Most people do not work on the next assignment when there's another assignment due. So I could do like 2 in 1 week, the week after the case studies are due. Or when, do you guys know when the next one is due? What date it is? Yeah, so there probably won't be any TA sessions next week, and then there'll probably be one on Sunday. Yeah, maybe Sunday. Like, we'll figure out the days. No, not every time. And also there's also the videos. That's why I'm doing the videos. I know people can't attend when I'm available, and I'm not going to change my availability. So I put this on so you guys can consume this content whenever you want. Yeah, no, that's generally it'll be. I got my. It was supposed to be earlier. This is like a miscommunication between the on my side. So that's my bad, guys. Sorry. Hopefully I can redeem myself going forward. So like probably in 2 weeks there'll be a TA session probably during the week, and then probably one the week before it was due, and then probably two. So like depending on how useful the videos are, I could just sit and just answer ad hoc questions like instead of like I could walk through it once, and then you'll have the video that'll be helpful to build out the model. Then I could answer more discrete specific questions. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put a note. Minute marker for the topics covered. Yeah. Yeah. I'll try and figure that out. No, yeah, it's a good idea. Like this is the only second one I've ever made, so it's still a work in progress. So I think there's ways to set up like markers and stuff. I just don't know how to do it, so I'm still learning. So the video will be the next section is going to be construction and operations, and it's more. It'll be like harder. It'll be a little bit harder, but in a different way. It won't be as the construction is kind of confusing, but I have a step-by-step guide, which will be very helpful. So you'll have the guide, and then you'll have the video. So the video I'll do probably 2 weeks before the assignment's due, and then I'll just host sessions like this, like in random days, where people just ask questions. And I could also do like live stream, like stuff, like times where like I could be on for like a half hour, 45 minutes, and just take questions via the internet, and then post. Just because I know like people have classes from like 6 to 9 or something. I'm like random like Wednesdays and Thursdays. So no, like if I do it on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays, not everyone can make all those days. So I'm just trying to push as much content onto the internet so you guys can use it when you're available. Any other feedback? So yeah, so I'll have a more defined schedule for the TA sessions forward. Oh yeah, for sure, and that's my bad. Like I'll try and give at least like 7 to 10 days visibility in TA sessions. So the question is, if there's a major maintenance outage, will there be a schedule outage? And let's look. What is that? So, yep, there's no schedule outage when there's a major maintenance outage. So when there's a major maintenance outage, there is no schedule outage. So the schedule outage is just like the day-to-day maintenance. They like shut it down for like an hour or something.
But then still be forced outage.
There's still forced outage, yeah. So during major maintenance outages, there are still forced outages, but there are no scheduled outages. Are there any other questions? Are you guys good? All right, we're gonna end this. All right, no problem. Let's see.